Hey girl, welcome in. How are you? Let me just get, oh, it came through. It says pending. Hold on. Let's see. It says it came through. Yeah, I did. I got it. Thank you. Alright, one second. I am glad you are here early. Alright, let's see. And then when you're ready, I'll put you in the raffle, okay? That ends tomorrow, so I will be choosing the winners tomorrow. And then when you're ready, you can post your questions. Let's see. I will plug in my mic. If it sounds echoey, please let me know, okay? Because yesterday they didn't let me know that the sound sounded kind of like, you know, it was plugged in, but sometimes it sounds echoey. So if it does, please let me know. All right. Let's see. Pretty good now. Got you in for the raffle. Okay. You said, what is your child's father? Oh, okay, there we go. All right, let's see. And then let me write your timestamp as well. All right. Okay, so you said trying to make the situation between you. Okay, so you said trying to make the situation between you. Just to make sure, do you mean like why is your child's father trying to make the situation between you guys more messy than it is because he keeps telling you about his other child and you keep telling him you don't care, you just want to co-parent and talk about the kid? Okay, got you. All right, let's see. So you're going to start at 23. 3. 40. All right. Okay, let's see. Whoop. And I went through all of my tarot decks. So technically I have 2 decks now. Same idea, tarot decks, but I have a backup just in case. I went through all the cards and sorted through them and everything. So let's see. All right, so why is Pretty Girl Mel's kid's father trying to make the situation messier than what it is and bringing up his other child? Let's see. Why is Pretty Girl Mel's kid's father trying to make the situation between them more messy than it is? Whoa. Oh, they want to see you hurt. Okay. This person is being deceptive by purposely. Yeah. If I know you did just say that. Hey, Sierra, welcome in. I am doing well. Thank you. Thank you. Hope the same for you. This person is definitely trying to see you hurt because they don't like your independence, okay? Or they don't like the fact that you're becoming independent from them, okay? Like if you want to be single from this person, they're going to make it a problem, okay? Or at least they're trying to. Oh, did you? Well, you can send for one now. You'll be after Pretty Girl Mel if you do it now, all right? Welcome in. And I feel you, I was exhausted yesterday, but I got my sleep. All right, let's see. So why is the Aries trying to make Pretty Girl Mel and his situation more messy than it is? Yeah, they don't like the fact that you're, trying to be independent from them or walking away from them. Okay, like, this is just probably one of those people who they don't like to see you happy. They don't like to see you with anybody else. They don't like to see you, you know, um, act like you don't care, even if you don't care, you know. They don't like the fact that you're not giving them that energy. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. Yeah, they're being toxic. They know what they're doing. They're not oblivious, okay? This is someone who definitely knows what their behavior is going to lead to, okay? Especially when they try to provoke you, all right? Let's see. Yeah, and it's kind of like, that saying, misery loves company, okay? That's what this person is kind of doing. They're miserable. Something's not working out in their life. They don't have self-discipline. They have judgments that they have to face, and that's why this person is trying to make you feel like you're doing something wrong. Okay, let's see. Yeah, they're trying to throw you off balance. So yeah, they are trying to get a reaction out of you, but it's mostly because they are miserable themselves and they don't know how to get their own shit together. So let's see. And then I will have you pick 1 through 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, for the oracle portion. Pretty Girl Mel. Okay, when we get to that part. Let's see. So why is the Aries trying to make things more difficult for Pretty Girl Mel? Yeah, they don't like being separate from you. Okay, so they're trying to fuck shit up in your life. Okay, 7 of Swords, 4 of Swords. If you're not giving them attention, that's a problem for them. Yeah, because you don't want to be with them. 10 of Pentacles reversed. Or if you don't want to be a family with this person, they see that as like a, how dare you? Like, oh, you don't want to be with me? I guess you won't get shit from me. It's kind of like I was gonna say tit for tat, but I'm not seeing that. Okay, it's just petty games. They're trying to purposely play petty games with you. Okay. So it's a yeah, look, confirmation, it's a manipulation tactic. Okay, 5 of Swords reversed. They could also act like they want to make up and like they want to work on things with you, but that's not the case. It's fake. Okay. So they're fake apologies if they do apologize. They're fake, I just want to work things out with you, blah 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 blah. If they try to act like they want to be cooperative, they're doing it to reel you back in and then to, kind of kick you back down or make you feel like something's going to happen when they're not actually going to follow through. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. This is just a really messy person. This is a messy person, and they have no dignity. Strength reversed. This is someone who it's like, do you have a backbone? Let's see. What's the Eight of Swords reversed here? Why is the Aries trying to make things more difficult between Pretty Girl Mel and him? Yeah, because you're moving on. Okay. Um, that's the overall message from the tarot portion that I'm getting for you, is that they don't like to see you move on. They don't like to see you doing better. Um, I do want to say, like, move in silence, okay? Or at least try to, when it comes to anything else but your kid. And I think you already said you're doing that, right? So keep, keeping your personal life away from this person. Um, yeah, I just saw your comment. You said you ignore him and he's trying to poke the bear. Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what he's doing. He's trying to get a rise out of you. He's trying to, keep you stuck. He knows what he's doing. It's not like he's unaware, okay? And it's all a manipulation tactic, a manipulation game, okay? So, I know that is most likely, not most likely, it is very difficult to deal with anybody who acts like that. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. And then you can pick a 1 through 6, okay, for the oracle portion. Let me know. Welcome in, welcome in. Keep in mind, guys, if you did want to be entered into the raffle, it ends tomorrow. So I will be choosing no, it's just one winner for YouTube over here until we get more people. But I will be choosing the winner for the 5 free personal reading questions, okay? And if you guys do win the raffle, you are allowed to get readings either during my lives or the private readings, okay? So you'll have to email me what your questions are. And you have 7 days to do so if you do win. You have to get your questions in within 7 days. All right. So let me know 1 through 6, Pretty Girl Mel. These are the decks right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 3. All right, let's see. All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, let's see. All right, so why is the Aries trying to make things more difficult between him and Pretty Girl Mel? Why is he being petty? Look, he doesn't want you to give up on him, or if you have given up on him, he doesn't like the fact that, he doesn't know exactly what you're up to. He doesn't have access to you, okay? So he could be confused about like what you got going on in your personal life, and he's still worried about what you got going on for some reason, okay? Um, I think he might have a thing where, I'm not excusing his behavior at all, but he could have a thing where he's like, he doesn't like not being chosen, okay? Like his ego could get hurt a lot, and when his ego does get hurt, he acts a fool. Um, let's see. So why is the Aries trying to make things more difficult between Pretty Girl Mel and him? Ooh. Yeah, he needs to give it a rest. We have rest here, okay? Also, I don't know if this person drinks or not, but if they do, they might be extra. They could be extra irritating when they drink, okay? So like if this person ever messages you or calls you and starts some bullshit, especially if it feels like out of nowhere, they could be, intoxicated, okay? This person's lost. Yeah. This person is lost, okay? We have puzzled. Yeah, they don't like the fact that you guys didn't have a love story of your own, like it didn't work out, okay? We have love story reversed. So they're really just upset that, this love situation didn't work out. And yeah, confirmation, they don't like the fact that you released them, okay? And they don't like the fact that you could possibly meet somebody else, okay? So it's really just this is a bitter kid's father. They say bitter baby mama all the time. This is a bitter baby daddy, okay? Let's see. And it says you have the power to create the timing by taking action, okay? Yeah, and they're a liar. They refuse to grow, especially spiritually, okay, or internally. This person is like someone who will continue to lie, continue to make up stories, continue like to charm the next person so that they believe him that, you're the bitter one, you're the problem, and he'll do that to anybody who is willing to listen, okay? Because they refuse to grow. All right. Let's see. Yeah, it's kind of repeating itself now, but we have Bonnie and Clyde reversed, okay? Dedication reversed, ride or die reversed. They do not like the fact that, you guys didn't work out or that you don't want to be with them, you know. This is if I can't have you, no one can, or I'm going to make your life, hell, okay? You said, can you still ask your question since you missed your turn last time? Um, when I thought you meant like you missed paying for your question, because you might have to go back to the live that you were in last time, okay? Because I don't leave lives without answering your guys' questions, the ones that you pay for. So after Pretty Girl Mel, I can go try to look to see, but I always answer your guys' questions as you pay for them. I will not skip out on, if you pay for a question, I'm going to answer it before the live ends. So let's see. But yeah, Pretty Girl Mel, this person, they could just be very stubborn, okay? We have Taurus energy here too. And they do not like the fact that you do not want to touch them, be with them, okay? We have fear of touch. They don't like the fact that you don't want them. That's why, okay? Yeah, and especially if you won't sleep with them. They do not like that. Let's see. I'm going to check because I think like I said, I'm not saying you're necessarily wrong, but I do not leave without, if you guys pay for a question or even if it's multiple, I answer your questions or I make sure that, you're there. Um, so let me finish Pretty Girl Mel and then I'll double check with the other lives, okay? Because they're still up, but I do make them unlisted, okay? So, and then I timestamp you guys afterward. All right, let's see for Pretty Girl Mel. Let's see. Because I think I did do your reading, but you didn't respond. Like I think you went somewhere, but it should be timestamped. I'm pretty sure. Okay, because I don't do that. I'm not that type of reader. If you guys pay for a question, I make sure that you guys send it. Okay, so just one second. One second. Let's see. Anything else that Pretty Girl Mel needs to know for why her kid's father is making things difficult? Also, if they're in a other relationship, they could be unhappy in that situation. They don't even put work into that situation. Okay, so this is kind of like, you know, excuse me. That's why we don't date people that we don't actually like, because this is somebody who could definitely be in a situation where, you know, things could be escalating or being taken further, you know, like the next level in the relationship. He could be entering or has entered into a deeper connection with somebody that he's not actually wanting to be with. Like he wants to be by himself, you know, if he's with anybody right now. So if he is trying to you know, take things to the next level when it comes to whoever he's with right now, he doesn't want to put in the work for that. Or he's upset that he has to, you know. And we have budget planning over here too, so they could be, you know, not financially stable. Okay, this person needs to work on their investing. All right, but that is what I got for you. Okay, thank you for Pretty Girl Mel. And then Sierra, I will double check real quick, okay, because I think because you asked two questions, I'm pretty sure, the other day. And you asked the one about Love Island, and then you asked about like why you were having an intuitive nudge about like being pregnant. And that's all the questions that I got. Okay. But I did timestamp them, okay? Because I do remember you did not respond, but I did answer your question, okay? I just kind of assumed you would watch it later. All right, let me see. You're welcome. Thank you, Pretty Girl Mal. Thank you. All right, let me see. What's today? Friday. I'm gonna make them public, okay, so that you can go see them. Because like I said, I am very particular about, you know, if you guys pay for a question, I will answer it. I'll make sure you're there. If not, I will, you know, make a notice of it to you guys, okay? But I will not accept anything that I do not answer, okay? Yeah, after this one, I'm gonna stay live here for a couple hours till about like 1 p.m. And then I'm gonna push back the one I made for 1 p.m. today. I'm gonna push that one back probably at like 3ish, maybe 4, okay? And then I'll stay live for like another 5 hours. So, yes, there will be another live today. Just make sure to look at the I updated my page so you can see like upcoming lives. Okay, so just make sure to check back and see what time it is posted for. All right. Where's my rubber band? Yeah, you could do a private reading too. Just make sure to remember that the prices are different for private reading. So, I think you know already. They're in my bio, okay, or in the description box of all the videos that I post, okay. And then for Sierra, I'm going to here, let me make these public. Let me see. Mm-mm-mm-mm. I wish they had the date more public on this. Let's see. All right, give me one sec. I'm gonna go through these videos and see what's up. Okay, Sierra, are you still here? I don't think so, but I'm going to share the live where I did the 2 questions for you, okay, a couple days ago. So I'm gonna post it in the community tab, and you should be able to see your questions, okay? Because I did answer both of them. I have Sierra and then Sierra, okay? So I will post in the community tab. Hopefully you're here still, but I did do your questions, okay? And I don't have your email, okay? So I can't, sometimes when you guys get readings, if I do have your email, I can send you the link to your questions, okay, while I'm live, but if you don't send me an email, then I cannot contact you. So if you want, your future questions to be emailed to you, I can do that, okay? But you have to email me first, alright, so that I have your email. But I am going to post it in the community tab for you. And hopefully you see it, okay? It was from a couple days ago, so. But I do remember you didn't respond after I finished your question, so. But that's why we timestamp them. Alright. Thank you. Hello, welcome in. Alright. I just got yours, thank you. I thought that was you. Alright, let's see. Let me plug in my mic real quick, and then when you're ready, oh yeah, I'm gonna put you in for the raffle. Okay, it's for a chance to win 5 free questions. But when you're ready, you can post your question, and then we can get started, and I will write your timestamp. If you want to go back and watch it later. Alright, let's see. Okay. That should be a little better. Alright, and you said what's coming for you, whatever spirit has for you. Okay, I got you. Let's see. And you'll be at, so 120 minutes is, I'll correct it, but I think it's like, what, an hour and a half? Something close to it. Okay, I'll correct it. All right, let's see. Oh. All right, so get you in for the raffle. There we go. And I'm drawing those names tomorrow. So it'll be the end of the month. All right, let's see. All right, so for Saad, what does Saad need to know? I don't have a specific time yet, but I will post the winners and email you guys if, because it's only for people who email me, because that's how I can contact you guys. So I'll let you guys know. I'll send out, an email to all of you for who wins. All right, let's see. So what does Saad need to know currently? Spirit, what does Saad need to know? What is coming towards Saad? Whoa. Okay. What does Saad need to know? Okay, so instantly I just heard like releasing codependency, okay? Especially when it comes to hoping that something will work out, or if you've been kind of down in the dumps, or end up, feeling kind of upset about something not working out for the long term. I see you either needing to release codependency to that idea or the outcome of that situation, or that's something that you will be needing to do. Okay. Let's see. What does Saad need to know? Yeah, because I feel like you might be kind of confused about like why something didn't work, or you might think that something or a situation with somebody was a missed opportunity. And at the bottom of the deck, we do have the Two of Cups. Okay, so it could be with somebody or somebody that you end up dealing with. You may be wondering like, oh, okay, well, why didn't it work out? But I see you, needing to release the idea of somebody, okay, or a certain situation. We have Cancer energy here, heavy. Let's see. What does Saad need to know? Yeah, somebody could have been juggling, okay, in a certain situation. If it does have to do with love, if it's not love, then just a situation that was becoming too much to handle. I feel like you need to release it, okay? Yeah, Seven of Swords, okay. There could have been somebody who was doing something either underhanded, or they were being sneaky, or just juggling people, more than one person. So that person I feel like you need to let go of, or if it's a situation in general, I feel like you need to release the outcome of what happened. Okay, let's see. What does Sod need to know currently? Yeah, confirmation with the Ace of Pentacles reversed. I feel like you might think it's a missed opportunity, but there's better opportunities ahead of you. Okay, so what you think is a loss, it's not. Okay, it might feel that way, but it's not actually a loss. Okay, because there's new opportunities headed towards you, new doors being opened. Okay, especially with the Three of Wands coming out right after that. Yeah, things will be okay. Okay, so if you have any anxiety or stresses that you may be experiencing or end up experiencing, things will balance out for you. All right, we have Aquarius energy here, Pisces. If this is about love, you're going to have options, okay? Make sure to keep your temper in check, okay? I just saw the Five of Swords. Make sure to keep your temper, or you might feel like, ew, why are you talking to me? Like, you might feel not open to new connections, but you will have options, okay? But whether you actually want to deal with them, that's up to you, okay? So let's see. What does Sod need to know? What's coming towards Sod? Yeah, you might be kind of defensive towards these new options or new opportunities coming towards you. Okay, so make sure you don't have to talk to anybody, in love that you don't want to talk to, obviously. But try not to be too defensive towards certain people, because I'm not saying you're an opportunist, okay, but you could have opportunities. I know I'm using that word a lot, especially when it comes to meeting new people. You never know who you could meet, so don't burn a bridge too quickly because you think that they only want one thing, or you think that they have negative intentions because of what you've been through. Okay, so it's kind of like, don't cut people who have not, or no, don't bleed on people who didn't cut you. Okay. Let's see. 'Cause you could meet a lot of new people. You could be networking, okay? Or that's something you should start doing. Seeing what, rooms you can get into. It would release a lot of burdens, okay? That's why I'm saying, like, whether it's love or not, you might want to try to be, I'm not saying be fake, okay? But, just be nicer. Okay, like I said, make sure to watch your demeanor, okay? Because I feel like you're going to be coming off a little bit standoffish towards certain people, and that could kind of rub people the wrong way, okay? Especially if you're trying to get into something or get to know somebody, okay? So let's see, because I feel like I'm talking about love and money for you. Whenever that happens, I feel like you could have both coming your way, love options and new financial opportunities as well, okay? Yeah, Three of Pentacles. People want to work with you, okay? Or people are gonna want to I don't know why I just heard like sign you, okay? Or book you or something like that, okay? But look, you're gonna be like, "Ugh, I don't care." I see you being like, okay, whatever, I don't know why I just heard like whatever, major loser, okay? So you could be you could be being a little bit petty, okay? Or you might feel like you want to be petty to these people, but you know, that's why I'm just saying. Make sure you're not burning bridges that could actually lead you to a better place, or, new experiences that you actually might enjoy. Okay. I hope that makes sense. Let's see. So what's coming in for Sod? Let's see. What's the Eight of Cups here? Yeah, I see you walking away from things that are too controlling, or people that are too controlling as well. Okay. Anything or anybody that has been keeping you stuck, you're leaving it. Okay. Or if you've been feeling stuck, I feel like you're finally going to be, feeling more free. Okay, you could be going to a lot more like celebrations. This is giving like events that you're going to be invited to, or but there's like opportunities at these, whether it's a party, an event, you're going to be able to network. Okay, so make sure that your aura is like, more open, more inviting, so that people can, you know they're gonna want to talk to you. But if they notice that you're being standoffish, it's kind of like, oh, Sod doesn't want to talk to me, let me go ask the next person or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So don't miss out because of how you feel. Okay. Let's see. You know how jobs, whoa, that's way too many. You know how jobs say, leave your problems at home? It's something like that. All right, let's see. What does Sod need to know? What is coming in for Sod? Also, I'm going to have you pick number 1 through 6, okay? Because I got the oracle portion. So I'll have you pick a deck 1 through 6 when we get there, okay? So let's see. What does Sod need to know currently? Whoa. Yeah, there's new situations coming in for you that are gonna feel like, is this real? Or you might be feeling like you can't trust these new opportunities, okay? As you know, or if you watch my regular videos, um, I always say, like, obviously use your discernment, and use common sense when dealing with anything or anybody, okay, in general in life. But you might not trust these new opportunities. I'm sorry I'm saying that word so much here, but I see a lot about new endeavors, if you will, okay? And I feel like you need to get out of your head when it comes to certain situations, okay? I feel like you're going to be very serious, okay? It's giving Aquarius energy. Um this is like, at least act like you want to talk to people, okay? Act like you Oh, wait, hold on. Why did it just do that? Let me That was super weird. Hold on. Hopefully it didn't. Okay. I don't know. Is somebody hacking my phone? Because it literally just like glitched, and then your comments disappeared. But now it's back. I went out of it and went back in. I don't know what that was. That was so strange. Okay. Anyways, oh, I just saw your comment. Okay, so you said you just got out of the hospital and you had ouch, appendicitis. You were in the hospital for 2 weeks and you had to get abdominal surgery. Ouch. Well, I know you said you're okay now, but I hope you recover, or quickly, fully. Okay. Let's see. Isn't that in your stomach or something? Or by yeah. I wasn't good in biology. All right, let's see. Let's see. What does Sod need to know? Yeah, and Queen of Swords is at the bottom of the deck here too. Okay, you're gonna be very, I don't give a shit, or you're coming off that way. Okay, so I'm just saying, if you want these opportunities, if you want these love options, whether you're gonna take them seriously or not, if you want to be taken serious, you got to act like, you care a little bit, even if you don't. Okay, um, so don't ruin your blessings by, you know, acting like you don't give a shit. Okay. Um, but yeah, let's get pick a number 1 through 6. Okay. So I feel like the tarot portion is starting to repeat itself with that. Pick a number 1 through 6, and we can do the oracle. Number 5. All right, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Let's see. All right, so for Sod, let's see. What does Sod need to know? What's coming in for Sod? What is coming in for Sod? Okay. I see you being at a lot of peace, okay, or experiencing a lot of inner peace as well, okay. Even though you're going to be coming off cold, okay, if you, how do I say that? Even though you're going to be coming off cold to like the outside world, I feel like you're going to feel content, like when you're by yourself, okay? Especially once you remove or release yourself from any codependencies that, maybe were holding you back, or, just not going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how sometimes we can be friends with somebody and then we're like, okay, well, this friendship is kind of like stagnant, and it's like, okay, you didn't necessarily do anything wrong, but I want more for myself, and you're not really trying to progress yourself, so you gotta separate, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so there could be something like with a friend, or, just somebody around you that you need to, you know, pivot away from, okay? Even if they don't do anything like bad to you, you might need to realign like what's truly important for you, okay? Um, or what you feel is truly important for you, okay? So even if it's not, even if somebody else doesn't understand why you're leaving or why you're wanting to go in a different direction, that's not up to them to decide. You know what I'm saying? So if you feel like you need to leave somebody, or if you feel like leaving a situation will be better for you, I think you're right. Okay. So, because it says shift your perspective for a gained sense of clarity. Whoa. Hello. Okay. Oh, player. Okay. Clarify player here. And I just got yours, Pretty Girl Mel. All right, you'll be after Sod, okay? Thank you. Let's see. Yeah, this is about a lover who is a player, okay? I think you're going to be realizing like you can't have a family with this person, or they're not somebody that you would want to take seriously, okay? Or if you end up meeting somebody, they could be a player, okay? If you don't know this person already, you could end up meeting somebody that is a player and that is not, like, they could have kids, but just because you have kids of your own doesn't mean that you're a good person, parent, you know what I'm saying? Because anybody can have kids, right? So I feel like you're going to be finding out more information on this lover, whether you know them yet or not, okay? And you're going to be making a judgment on this person, okay? Especially if you like stumble upon some sort of like information, okay? I'm also hearing something about a test, okay? Like you could be testing this person. I don't know why I'm hearing under pressure. Yeah, and look, at the bottom of the deck here too is single, okay? You could be testing a lover, whether you know them yet or not. Like if you meet somebody new too, you could be testing them, and they're gonna fail. Okay, so it's like, oh, what are those videos called? Am I the asshole? Okay, so you could be, you know, oh, you're good, Pretty Girl Mel, you're good. You said it's a past person. Why they in your energy? Yeah, because it's definitely somebody who is not good for you. Okay, especially not for the long term. Okay, um, but yeah, you could be testing them whether you do it on purpose or not. And I was thinking about those videos, the "Am I the asshole" videos, if you know what I'm talking about. It could even be like the way they think. Okay, like scenario wise, you might be like, oh, okay, yeah, you're cute, but you think like an idiot. You know what I'm saying? This person may kind of rub you the wrong way. Okay, like, a pretty face is not always, just because, you know what I'm saying, like, just because someone looks good doesn't mean that they're a good person. And we, oh, almost dropped on my cards. Okay. We have no good ones. Okay, so just because someone looks good on paper or in pictures doesn't mean that they're a good person, or that they align with what you want for yourself. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Let's see. What does side need to know? Yeah, you're being independent. Okay, I see you being single, but having options, not only in love, but money. Okay, just make sure you're not being super standoffish, or at least try to. Okay. Yeah, you're really acting like you don't care. Maybe you don't care, and that's okay too. But like I said, maybe you got to pretend a little bit to get where you want to go. Okay. Let's see. Anything else? Yeah, we have. Whoa, workplace relationships, okay? It says foster positive relationships at work, be respectful, collaborate effectively, and support your colleagues to create a harmonious work environment. Yeah. So kind of like what I just said, the um act like you give a damn. Okay. But I see you being at peace, especially when you're alone. I feel like you're really going to be enjoying your alone time, which is good, okay? Because, some people don't know how to be alone and they're miserable. Misery loves company, right? So I feel like you're genuinely going to be feeling at peace. You could be spending a lot more time at home too, especially if you haven't been able to recently, okay? I feel like there's going to be people with like status or money coming towards you, and you're like, okay, maybe you're not like materialistic or whatever, because we have marrying for money reversed, okay? So this is like, okay, you look good, great. You got money, great, but I don't like you. So this isn't going to work, you know what I'm saying? So it's up to you. We have free will at the end of the day, but you might want to like pick and choose like which opportunities or people you want to deal with based off of, what they have to offer and things like that, okay? Or you might not want to deal with them at all, and that's okay too, you know. But you will have a lot of opportunities, people and financial. I see you dodging people. I feel like you don't want to deal with anybody, at least not for the near future right now, okay? You want to be like ducked off into the forest or by your lonesome, okay? But and look, that's Aquarius energy, okay? So if you have Aquarius in your chart, then that would definitely make sense as to, why you either feel better alone or you just want to be alone, okay? Let's see. The people want to work with you. Look, being cold just came out too, okay? Damn. And we have doing drugs reversed, okay? So I'm not saying you have any addictions or anything like that or any problems, but if you know anybody with drug addictions, somebody could be getting, you know, cleaner or trying to, clean up their act, okay? Whether that's you or somebody around you. And we have lost soul. Clarify lost soul here. Yeah, I feel like you'll do a lot better once you release it could be your environment too, okay? I know it's not easy to just up and leave and move away, right? Instantly, but I feel like mostly it has to do with like toxic or negative connections or dead weight connections is what I want to say. Okay? You got to get rid of those. Even if it's like you didn't do anything, Sometimes you got to get rid of that whole energy around you. I block people all the time. I only got like 20 friends on Facebook, and I keep it that way because I don't want anybody, I could feel that energy, you know what I'm saying? Um, so it might be as simple as that. If you feel like you got to get rid of somebody, even if they didn't do anything wrong, so be it. It is what it is. If they get mad when you leave, or, you don't even, I was about to say, you don't even have to say goodbye. You might be ghosting people, okay? Um, but it's for the better, okay? And stay away from people who tell like who gossip a lot, who try to tell you untrue stories or half stories, half truths, things like that, okay? Stay away from people who are like super negative. All right, there's way too many cards at once. Let's see, we do have changing them, okay? So don't try to change people. I'm sure you know that already, but yeah, it's a lot of trash you got to take out, okay? No pun intended. All right, this is a lot of dead weight, okay? And there could be people around you who say, you know, oh, you're leaving me. They could try to guilt trip you, okay? They could try to, propose something to you, like a new offer. Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities. I'm sorry I'm saying that so much, but there are, okay? But people could, like, when you're trying to leave, they could be like, oh, no, sad, no, wait, but I got this, or, how about this, so it even could, that kind of sounds like a job trying to offer you something more if you decide to not work with them anymore. It's like, well, I'm going to do what's best for me, I'm sorry that it affects you, but I care about me and my life and my sanity and my peace at the end of the day. So I'm going to go. You know what I'm saying? And I just heard like bittersweet. It could feel kind of bittersweet, you know, but you're on your way to fixing things, okay? Realigning. I want to say your life, your connections, your finances, okay? Look, you're ignoring everybody, or you will be, okay? If you have a pet, you could be just hanging out with your pet, you know, especially if it's like a cat, or you might think about getting a cat, okay? A cat could be a nice, you know, friend for you or something, especially if you don't want to be around anybody. But yeah, that is what I got for you, okay? I feel like that was mostly like a healing slash get rid of the bullshit type of reading, you know, which we like. But that is what I got for you. Thank you, Saad. And I will email you guys after both lives today are over. Tomorrow I will be picking the winner. All right. And then we'll start it over again for July. So you guys will always have chances to win the 5 free personal reading questions. Okay. You are welcome. Thank you. Thank you. But I do it every month. I was mostly doing it on TikTok, but I'm doing it on both now. Thank you. All right. So we have Pretty Girl Mel. You are next. And then let me get you in for the raffle. And then you can post your question when you're ready, okay? And then we can get started. There we go. I can't believe it's already July, damn near. That's crazy. Last year I was doing a reading, the fireworks were going off crazy in the background. All right, let's see. And if anybody else wants questions, I would send them now because it is going to be 1 p.m. in a few minutes. But you can send as long as I'm going to do Pretty Girl Mel's reading. So as long as I'm still reading for her, you guys can send for questions, okay? If you want any last minute ones. And then I'm going to come back later tonight as well. I think I made it for 8:30 p.m. All right. Did you say you were at work, Pretty Girl Mel? Just make sure to drop your question if you guys are gonna leave the chat. I don't mind, but just make sure you drop your question and then I can answer it and timestamp it. Oh, you did? Okay, never mind. Never mind. I had to scroll up. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. All right, let's see. Pretty girl Mel. Let's see. All right, so you said, how does the Aries feel about his new connection? Let me get your timestamp. 148 minutes. 1 second. I'm going to calculate it because okay, so 228. All right, let's see. All right, so for Critical Mel, how does the Aries feel about his new connection? How does the Aries feel about his new connection? Oh, let's see. How does the Aries, oh my goodness, feel? The cards are flying everywhere. Okay. How does the Aries feel about his new connection? Stressed, okay. Like it's a bunch of hard work. Like he doesn't want to commit. Ooh. Okay, we got the Lovers reversed and the Ten of Wands. That's not good. Let's see. How does the Aries feel about his new connection? He's having doubts. Okay. He could be trying to stay to himself even though he's with somebody, okay? He could also feel like it's a financial strain with the Four of Pentacles here. Oh my God. I just heard he wishes he could go back in time, okay, with the Wheel of Fortune. He's disappointed. Okay, that's not good. So the Aries feels like he doesn't want to be in this connection, okay? But he's not saying that. Moon reversed. He's not saying that out loud, okay? He's not saying, I don't want to be with you. He's just kind of going along with it, okay? Or whatever this connection is with his new person. Yeah, he's really holding back how he truly feels about, the person he's with right now, okay? Yeah, oh, dang, okay. Three of Swords, Ten of Swords, the Strength reverse. This is like, yeah, and the Devil reversed at the bottom of the deck. But they're staying in it, okay? This person is like they're kind of just dealing with it. I just heard like it's like beating a dead horse, okay? And I don't even really know what that saying means, but I'll have to look it up for sure. But isn't it like something about, I don't know. I don't know why I'm thinking of that saying too, where it's like you can lead the horse to the water, but you can't make him drink. Okay. I don't know why I'm hearing that. Okay. Well, let's see. Oh, you're good. You're good. But yeah, they're not happy in this connection. Okay. They could be sticking around for some sort of financial reasons. Okay. But if it's anything about finances, it's not much. Okay. Like compared, it's not much. It's like crumbs, okay? Like whatever he's getting out of this connection with whoever he's with now, it's kind of like fleeting. um and he could feel like he has to manipulate his way through this connection. Yeah, they could be having arguments, okay? Five of Wands. It's not looking good. He wants out, or he wants to move forward from this current connection he's in. Look, Five of Swords too. This is like, those toxic couples, right? Who, excuse me, the toxic couples who they fight, they break up every other day or whatnot, and then they get back together like, oh, we're fine. This whole spread was not, I was about to say horrible. Okay, it could be horrible, but, this is like somebody acting like everything's fine on the surface, okay? But it's not. It's most definitely not. Look, Five of Pentacles. He wants out. He wants to leave, okay? Or he wishes he could leave this person out in the cold, okay? but he knows that he has to face the reality of what he's gotten himself into. Yeah. He could have started dating this person out of, like spite or for some sort of deceptive reason, and now he's like in too deep, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Cuz for yeah, he's like, "All right, let's wrap it up." The world card. He's like, "I don't know if I can go the distance." You know, but he's sticking around. I'm not seeing him like, "Okay, there's the death card." Yeah, he definitely wants it to end. He wants to be single. 9 of Cups. Okay. This Aries person is regretting their choices, okay? But they could be staying with whoever they're with for financial reasons or stability, okay? Whoever they're with could have some sort of stability, whether it's a house, a car, they find some sort of value within um, you know, whoever they're with. That's not good. Empress reverse. If they got kids with this person, it's like, I wish this was not the mother of my child. That's crazy. They feel trapped. Look, it flew at me. We have the 8 of Swords. They feel trapped. They could also, yeah, confirmation again with the 7 of Swords. They could also feel like they can't go anywhere, like physically. They're not having fun. Okay, they are not having fun in this connection. Yeah, the devil. It's toxic. It's not a successful connection. Okay? 6 of Wands reverse. And yeah, the Star card reverse too. For the last card here for the tarot portion. This is like, I don't know how much longer this is gonna work. I don't see it working actually. I don't know if this person's started dating this person out of like, you know, I'm gonna just date you because you got this or you got that. Like I do see him like kind of using whoever he's with financially or for some sort of stability, but emotional wise, he's stressed. He does not like this connection. He doesn't like the person that he's with. He seems very non-committal. His finances aren't really, balancing out, but he could be using hers or whatever she has to offer. You know what I'm saying? But he's acting like everything's okay on the surface. The only, that's crazy. The only like okay card is the Temperance that came out here, which is why I feel like they're trying to act like, things are good when they're not. You know what I'm saying? And I just heard like things change within the blink of an eye. Okay. I don't know why I'm getting so many like sayings or whatever for your reading right now, but um there could be things in this connection that, happen all of a sudden that cause them to have like arguments or, petty disagreements, okay? Mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. All right, we can pick number 1 through 6. Let me know. Let's switch these out. Let's see. All right, 1 through 6. Let me see. Did you? Okay. Or did you want me to pick one for you? I'm gonna pick one if you don't pick one. I know you said I think you're busy also right now, so it's okay. Um, let's do this one. Okay. Let's see. All right. So for Pretty Girl Mel, how does the Aries feel about his new connection? How does the Aries feel about his new connection? Look, confirmation. That's crazy. I'm telling you, he wants out. We have a skirt. Okay. It says, quick getaway, the runner escaping. Okay. Oh, you said number one? Okay. We could switch. We could switch. We could switch. But that was a confirmation, if anything, with the getaway card. All right, let's see. All right. All right. So how does the Aries feel about his new connection? Yeah, he could feel like he did something too soon, okay? It says you get into you get into serious. No, you get too serious too soon. Get to know each other before committing fully. Okay? And we have justice that just came out as well. Okay? So this person could feel like, they jumped into this connection too soon. Um they could know that something was not fair, or they could feel like they need to make something fair for themselves, okay, by getting out of it, by getting out of this situation, okay. Look, and new love reversed. What was new love? They want it to be no love, okay? Let's see. How does the Aries feel about his new connection? Look, swindler, okay? I'm telling you, they're not really happy. They're acting like everything's okay. They're acting like, it's fine, I'm good. Look, damn, betrayal, okay? He could feel betrayed in this connection, or I feel like he betrayed himself, though, low key, okay? I feel like he betrayed himself by, like I said, I feel like he got into this connection for petty reasons, okay? And he could also have legal issues going on as well because of this new connection, or if he's already dealing with, lawyer issues, or, something to do with the justice system, he could feel like it just has become more of a burden, okay, by dealing with this new person, okay. He could have also hoped that things would be different when it comes to this new connection. Yeah, but look, confirmation, divine timing, everything has a higher purpose, and putting on a show, okay. It's not real. Their emotions are not real. This connection is not real. I mean, it could be a real connection, right? But it's not what they want. Or they could and we have feeling unloved, okay? This person is not happy. They could be also trying to, work, or, find a new source of income or something like that, okay? In the meantime, look, they feel like they settled. We have settling here, okay? They could feel like they settled too soon. Yeah, and something's not working. Engineer reversed. Yeah, something's a lot more difficult than they expected it to be. So let's get a few more. All right, so how does oh, okay. Just making sure the sound is good. All right, so how does the Aries feel about his new connection? Yeah, he's trying to act too busy. He's trying to act like, like he's got other stuff to do, even if he doesn't. He's trying to avoid this person. Yeah, innovative thinking. He's trying to come up with like excuses. I don't know if this person is religious or not, but he could be trying to like use religion or whatever he believes as a reason why like he can't do this. You know how sometimes people use like religion. Look, getting played. He could feel like this is not what I thought. And look, amusement park reversed, okay? He's not having fun. This is not good. This is not good. But he could be using like religion or whatever belief system he has. He could be using that as like a reason why he can't do something or be with this person for the long term. Yeah, fear of loss. He feels like he's missing out on a lot. He wants to go home. Okay, whether that's a person or not, we have place of reminiscence. He wants to go home. Okay. Yeah, and he could be like daydreaming a lot or trying to think of other things rather than this connection. Yeah, financial health reverse. He really feels like he took a extra like financial hit by being in this new connection. He could also be like afraid to leave because of his own financial situation, okay? Yeah, he knows that if he did leave or, end up releasing himself from this connection, he knows that it would put him in a bad place, okay? With self-neglect. Let's get two more. Yeah, personal development reversed, okay? So he feels like he's not growing or not able to grow or do better by being with this person and third party. It's reversed, but, that's still a third party situation where he's thinking about a third party that he can't, get to, whether that's you or, someone else. Because, like we said earlier from the tarot, I was getting that he is non committal or he doesn't want to commit to this person, okay? But that is what I got for you. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Sounds like this person is not happy. But for everyone who got a reading for this afternoon, I will be back on later. Okay, at 8:30. The live is already, set up to be posted and stuff. So, if you guys want to join then, and I could do your reading now. Pretty Girl Mel, I got you. I just saw it pop up. But after Pretty Girl Mel right now, she will be the last one for right now. But I will be back. I will be back on later to go live for the questions again. Okay. All right. And then you can put your next question, Pretty Girl Mel, in the chat. Okay. And then I'll get you in again for the raffle. Mm-mm-mm-mm. All right, let me see what number we're at. 167. Okay. All right. You're welcome. Ooh, hello. All right, it says you wanted to know how does she feel about the Aries. Okay, so like flipped. I got you. All right, let's see. Um ah, that is horrible. I don't know why I just wrote it so terribly. I need a smaller paper. I can use this. All right. All right, let's see. Oh, I wrote it on the wrong. That's okay. There we go. Either way, it works. All right, let's see. All right, so you said, how does she... Okay, so how does the Aries' girl feel about the Aries? Let's see. How does the Aries' girl feel about the Aries? She could kind of know that the connection's not really working out too. Okay, Four of Cups reverse. She could feel like, she needs to reevaluate what she's involving herself in. Okay. Yeah, and the strength, okay. She could also be like, wondering, do I have the strength for this? Like, do I have the emotional capacity to keep dealing with this situation? Okay, knowing how it is. Let's see. How does the Aries' girl feel about the Aries? So they do have a family or a home together, okay? She is trying to make it work, but she also knows deep down that it's not, something that will probably last, okay? Or at least if they do stick around together, she knows that it would be something that is not, I'm hearing sustainable, okay? Yeah, she could be thinking about the longevity of this connection, okay? Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, but she's indecisive, she's like, okay, I don't know. I don't know if this is actually going to work long term, okay? Oh, you don't need to know her sign, or at least I don't. I don't. Um, but the signs that are coming out here are Leo, Aquarius. Yeah, for the major arcanas. Let's see. Yeah, she could feel like also that she's overwhelmed, that she has, to reprioritize what's going on with her and her future, okay? So she knows that something is not right or something hasn't been stable between the both of them, and she is trying to, figure out you know, what she's going to do about this situation, okay? Yeah, cuz she's tired of it. She's tired of it. Four of Swords reversed, okay? She feels like, she needs to wake up and do something about her situation. Look, Three of Cups reverse and the Three of Cups reverse. Okay. Double confirmation. His girl feels like, she's not having fun either. So that could be like a mutual feeling for the both of them that it's very difficult. It's been very difficult for them to manage this connection in a healthy way. Okay. Whoa. Page of Pentacles. Let's see. How does the Aries' girl feel about the Aries? Yeah, she feels like she needs to release him too. This is like two people who are together, but they don't actually want to be together, but they're sticking around because they have a family or they have kids. Um, I feel like they both kind of know that it's not really working. They just gotta have that final judgment day at the bottom of the deck um, to decide, okay, is this going to be, look, Ten of Swords. Are we finally gonna end this? Are we finally going to actually admit that this is not working for the both of us? You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Yeah, Five of Pentacles. So she wants out too. She wants out, or she knows that she doesn't want to be here anymore. Or, oh, I didn't mean to say it like that. Okay. But I meant she doesn't want to be in this connection anymore. Okay. Hopefully she's not feeling that way. But let's see. Yeah, Five of Pentacles. Seven of Swords reverse. She knows this connection is not genuine, or at least not anymore. It could have started off, kind of nice, but this is like a huge tower moment for the both of them, you know. And let me know what deck you want, 1 through 6. All right. How does the Aries' girl feel about the Aries? Yeah, she knows this connection is toxic. So I feel like they both know. They're both aware, that this is not working. Okay. And yeah, Ace of Cups reversed at the bottom of the deck here. Okay. It's more of a loss than a gain, because with partnership, you're supposed to, or at least you should have a mutually beneficial connection, where you both are like giving and taking um in some sort of way. But this is like we're both not gaining anything good from this, so what are we going to do about it? It's about like what they decide to finally do, if they want to cut it off or keep dealing with, not being happy with each other, because some people do stay together and they're not actually happy. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that could be them in the future if they decide to continue this. Okay. So, but let me know what oracle deck you want me to use. 1 through 6. And then we can get started with that part. I just heard that beggars can't be choosers, bitch, this ain't Chipotle. Okay. From that song, that part. Why am I hearing so many sayings for your reading? Beggars can't be choosers. Okay, maybe someone around them is like an elder or something and says a lot of phrases or something. I don't know. So I don't usually get phrases during my readings like that often. Mm-mm-mm-mm. So let me know which 1 through 6 you want to use. All right, I am going to pick one if you are not choosing an oracle deck, okay? Let's do, and I'm gonna stick with this one, okay? Because I don't see you replying. So let's do this one. All right, let's see. So, how does the Aries' girl feel about the Aries? Let's see. She could also feel like she doesn't really want to lay down with him. Okay, we have getting a room reversed. So she doesn't feel connected to him. Yeah, she doesn't see any real direction with this person either. Okay, GPS reversed. She could be trying to focus more on her money or feel like she needs to, get her finances together. Let's see. How does the Aries' girl feel about the Aries? Yeah, look, not committed. So they're both on the same page, but in like the worst way. This is like, we both don't really fuck with each other, but we're acting like we do, so it's like, yeah, and I think we did get earlier from his version, or his perspective. It's all for show. Something is for show. Something's not real. Like, it's there, but it's not real. Okay, at least not the emotional aspect of it. Yeah, so they're both thinking about, okay, well, do we want to like keep doing this? Do we want to keep, keep up this act? Okay, we have retirement and judgment. Yeah, they could be judging each other, or she could judge him a lot, or she feels like she made a poor decision. Yeah, because it's affected her poorly. Okay, well, I already picked the deck. Okay, I don't know if it's delayed or not, but we already picked the deck. Um, let's see. I think it might be delayed with the responses, but let's see. Yeah, because she could feel like she made a poor judgment, like she needed to be more strategic when it comes to her choices. Okay. Yeah, she also could feel like she needed to look more into him. Okay, as a person, like, because I feel like she's finding out a bunch of stuff about him that maybe she didn't see at first. Okay. Let's see. And we have obsession. She could be focusing too much on this situation. She could be kind of obsessed with him, okay? But it's, there's a thin line between love and hate. So, because I don't see love here at all, honestly. I don't see love here at all. Yeah, this connection's old. She knows that it's like a connection that's, it's kind of over, or it's been over, but they're still trying to act like it's, you know, like there's something meant to come from this when it's not. Yeah, bank failure. They need to focus on their money. You got a lot of money problems from these people. They need to focus on their stability, their finances, okay? Rather than, trying to act like something's real when it's not, like this connection. Yeah, rejected, okay? She could feel rejected by him. And I feel like, yeah, he is rejecting her. Even if they're still like, together. Yeah, I'm not sure either, to be honest. This could have also been like, how couples get together way too fast and then the connection ends fast too. I feel like that's what happened. Yeah, and they're trying to force it. They're both trying to force this connect, or she's trying to force it, because I feel like from his perspective, he's not really into it. I think she knows that, but she's kind of forcing the connection to continue when he's literally like, I don't like you. That's horrible, but yeah, look, it's time to take a break, okay? That is not good. And yeah, we're getting more money cards, like about them needing to pay attention to their finances rather than trying to, keep a fake connection going. Yeah, and overall, yeah, she feels like she needed to look more into him. She's regretting not, you know, seeing what else was to this person. It's kind of like she wishes she had done like a background check or like asked around about him or something. Because the stuff she's figuring out about this person, the Aries, she feels like, I wish I had known that, prior to jumping into this connection, because she knows that she cannot fix him unless he wants to fix himself. So, yeah, she knows, look, confirmation. Okay, we're going to end it there, but she knows that she took a risk, okay? And she's kind of seeing what happens when, you know, you jump into things too quick, you know? And I feel like he's seeing that too. But yeah, that's what I got for you, okay? For their perspectives on each other. And like I said, I feel like this connection won't last long, or if they do decide to keep, putting on a show when it comes to this connection, it's going to be very unhealthy, because it's hard to pretend like you like someone when you don't, right? So hopefully they get it together. Hopefully they realize, they're better apart. But thank you. That is what I got for you, okay? I will be back later, and I will timestamp your guys' questions, okay? And I don't know if Sierra is in here or not, or if she will pop back in, but I'm going to end the live in a couple minutes because it is past our time right now, but I will be back on later. But Sierra, your questions are posted, okay, in the community tab. I posted the link and your payments. I did your questions, okay? Like I said, I will never accept payments from you guys if I did not answer your question. I don't do that, okay? Um, there's a difference between, you pre-booking and then hopping in the live and posting your questions or getting a private reading, but I never will accept questions without knowing what question you're asking. Or I won't accept payments without knowing what question you're asking, okay? But your questions, Sierra, are posted in the community tab. I do not have your email, so I don't know how to contact you. I did mention, you emailing me a few times now. So if you don't email me, I will not be able to contact you directly. So that's why I posted it in the community tab, okay? With proof that you sent only 2 payments on Tuesday, and I answered both of them. All right. But that is what I got for y'all. Thank you. And I will be back on later, okay? 8:30. 8:30 is when I will be back. And I'll probably be live for a couple hours, not too long, later tonight. All right. But thank you, Pretty Girl Mel. Thank you, Sad, for you guys joining this afternoon. Raffle is tomorrow, so I will be drawing the names tomorrow. Okay. Save this link to this video, okay? Because I don't want, any confusion. That's why I tell you guys save the link. Sometimes I do make the videos unlisted. They're still posted, but if you have the link to the video, you could still view it, even if it's unlisted, okay? So save it somewhere in your phone, and then you won't have to worry about, where's the video, or which live was it, And I do have a playlist folder for all of the Cash App lives too. So make sure to go check over there too if you ever lose your reading. But please make sure to save your link if you want to go back to your reading, okay? You are very welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you. All right. And I am going to end the live. I need to nap. But I'll be back on later. All right. Thank you guys.